Hello and welcome to the Greentech Breakfast. I'm Emma Patmore.
And I'm Kromminga.
And we are co-founders of the Greentech Alliance, which is a global network of startups that have impact at their core. Each week we're sharing the news and events from the community, and we're also interviewing one of our members. And today we're here with Iris Skrami from sustainable fashion startup Renoon.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome, Iris. So let's jump into some news first. Fundraising has been the main topic of last week's session, and it's going to be something I want to talk to you about again today. It's something that at the Greentech Alliance we discuss often, and alongside our own investment series we're doing at the moment. There's a great event by Sifted coming up soon, and all startups should attend this event by Sifted. Regardless of whether you're raising money right now or you're just intending to do it in the future. The event is called Why VCs Say No, and it will tell you everything about, what a VC deal flow looks like, why VCs turn down startups, and how to increase your chances of getting a yes. It's on Thursday, July 6th, and 2 p.m. Central European time, so like German time or Amsterdam time, and you can sign up via the link below.
Nice, thanks, Hannah. Just a note that the 6th is a Tuesday. But yeah, so that's definitely a really important one, and there's some great speakers as well from various VCs and investment funds that will be there to provide information at that event. And in some more news from our members, we'd like to say congratulations to Lamon, which is a plastic waste startup from Bulgaria, and Ecolytic, which is a startup which is analyzing the sustainability of individual banking transactions. So it's basically making it easier for banks and financial services to show people their footprint and then help them to be more sustainable. So both of those have won the Impact Shakers Awards, which is an award series which is choosing winners from across Europe. So in different locations they've won, and huge congratulations to them for that. And then in other member news, tomorrow we are hosting a female founders networking session. So that will be taking place at 7 p.m. and it will be hosted by Iris, who we have here with us today. So exactly. we'll take the chance to ask Iris a little bit about what that's going to be about and what people can expect.
Yeah, would be amazing.
So yeah, can you tell us a bit more about the event?
Yeah, sure. So the event is always, again, I've been actually having outside of the Greentech Alliance a group of female founders. And so actually when you guys asked us as a community to find also more networking opportunities, this is the best way, because as women, we are still an underrepresented part of this network in general of startups. And so actually when we come together, we see that there's a lot that we can learn from each other and also help each other. And so during our event, also depending on the final registrations that we're going to have, it's either going to be a round of pitches together, and with everyone also saying what is their journey at the moment and what are the biggest struggles, and then do more of a networking to also find who can help them and who would be a great fit to also continue a conversation then outside of the event.
That's great. I'm very much looking forward to it, and thanks for organizing that for everyone. I think, as you said, it's really important, particularly for female founders, just to get together and have a bit of support from each other.
Yeah.
And now it'd be great if you can just introduce yourself a little bit and what you're doing at Renoon.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me as well. I've been following this network for quite some time now, and I've seen it grow so much. So super also happy to be part of it. I'm Iris. I'm one of the co-founders, and I'm also the CEO of Renoon. Actually, my other 3 co-founders are men. We founded the company last February 2020. We just closed our first pre-seed round, and also we have some really interesting news coming up soon, which we're going to also share with you guys. Renoon really started, I come from the fashion industry, fashion tech. So I worked at global fashion brands like Nike, and then at PVH, which is the mother company of Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein. And I've always been passionate about sustainability for the longest time. I always wanted to be on the solution side. So I was actually dealing with startups and technology in both the companies until one day it actually took me a month and a half to find a simple black dress online because I wanted it to be sustainable and I wanted to make a more conscious decision for myself and stay true to my values. So that's when I discovered that, first of all, it's really hard at the moment. Like there's no place where you can say, I have all these values. I need to buy something because in the end, we're all consumers. Of course, the first thing to do is try to wear something that you already have in your closet. But still, it's then if you need to go out there, it's a total mess. You don't know where to go or how to handle it. And so with Renoon, we came up with the solution to this. We're building an app that aggregates sustainable fashion clothing that have a responsibility attribute from multiple websites at once. So basically we get all this data from different websites and then we combine it in a personalized experience for the user. So a little bit like, I want to say, the Spotify of sustainable fashion, where sustainability is actually a journey and we look at it in a very positive way, where we actually show you the different ways you can have an impact and how you can really start your journey, but also see the journey of the brands.
Sounds really exciting. And I've also had the same struggle myself a lot. So yeah, I really agree that it's an important mission that you're doing. When you talk about like a personalized experience, what do you actually mean by that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically, as a company, without being a company, actually, the first thing that I myself and my co-founder asked ourselves was, what is sustainability? And actually, sustainability in the fashion industry means a lot of things, probably even more than other industries. And there's multiple ways you can actually have an impact. So we have divided the sustainability into 5 pillars. Which are environmental protection, so you can buy organic things, recycled or upcycled. Then there's the human well-being, so all the social aspect related to who made your clothes, but also if the brand is inclusive, if the brand is actually, through the brand, you're actually empowering women. And then we have more of animal ethics, so everything for those who are vegan and want to extend that to a clothing, because that's also something very difficult to do, because sometimes even just the tag that it's behind the jeans, a pair of jeans, that can also be leather, and so sometimes it's really a struggle for people. And we have then all the innovation and technologies, so brands that use blockchain to trace their products, or new materials like apple skin alternative to leather, or Pinatex, that it's made from leftover of pineapples, etc. So all these new materials that are trying to offer alternatives in the market. And finally, the modern consumption. So with Renoon, actually with our model, because we are aggregating multiple websites at once, actually we're aggregating also secondhand and rental platforms. So we can really bring you in one item when you see it. We wanted to show and make it easy to then say, okay, I not only want to buy this item, but I can actually access it in other ways. Like maybe I can buy it secondhand, or I can rent it. In my case, for that night, maybe I should have rented the dress instead of buying it.
Because as I'm, found in the sustainable fashion space myself, I'm curious to learn, I felt like lots of the brands, they have very different categories for, vegan might be an obvious one, but in terms of materials and also like sustainability categories, it seems to be that there's no standardization. And also I always felt like it's very hard to get by, 100% of the information required to create some sort of standardization. So I'd be curious to hear how you're solving this.
Yeah, so to us, we're solving it in 2 ways. So in one way, is that we're actually the first platform worldwide which is actually going at the product level. So that was a very big challenge for us on a technical side, because it means that we actually needed to develop something that would allow us to understand in a scalable way what is that item, what it's the composition, if it has certifications, what material is it made from, and then in that way have an objective filter at the product level that can really say this item goes through and is allowed by the sustainability framework or not. And we do have work with industry standards that are recognized. So for example, we take GOTS certified cotton, but we don't take BCI. And so we do have those type of standards in place. And then at the brand level, it's more about transparency and showing where the brand is standing in terms of the journey that they're taking, because also in fashion, everyone wants to turn now. It's the future. So it's about recognizing who are the brands that actually have been born with sustainability at core, those that are starting out and those that are a bit further ahead because they're transitioning and have really in place also at the board level things in place to actually do that. And so this is the first way. So to actually bring more a standard way of certifications, materials, etc. But then there's always an element of subjectivity, and that is our sustainability pillars, because through that we can actually match the consumer value with the value of the brand. Again, in fashion, that is really truly happening because there's so many ways as a brand that you can actually move towards, and you can't be doing everything at once. So there are some brands that are concentrating to environmental protection, brands that are concentrating to the social aspect, the human well-being. And so it really depends on the sensitivity of also the person, of what is it that you want to have an impact on, and really start with that. And we hope that we can more and more make the match with the consumer in order to really empower that, because also as a consumer, you can't be doing everything. I mean, there's only that much you can do to either be part of a circular economy, sharing economy where you do rentals, or at the same time also empower women and at the same time save the oceans. It's something that you can't be doing. And some of these things are interlinked, but as a direct impact, there's only, some things that you can do at the same time.
Great. And where are you at on your journey? Like, have you launched a product yet? What's your plans for the next months?
We launched the product. So we launched in April. This first version we wanted to launch as soon as possible. So we had last year a prototype that helped us raise our first pre-seed round. We went with angels. So we raised from the ex-CIO of Gucci, ex-CDO of Yux and Porte, some people from Spotify. So people who are either veterans in the industry and really wanted to be part together with us to create a change and to create a platform that can really empower that. And on the other side, also people that are really, with Spotify, it makes sense for us because that's also a little bit what we see as Renoon being, because it could be a bit of a sky scanner because we aggregate multiple websites, but in the end, we also have that personalization element, which makes it a bit more comparable to something like a Spotify in that sense. And so after that, we also got some government grants, etc. So now we're good to go. So we released immediately, just right after we had everything in place, and now we're iterating. So every week there's something new going on in the app to really get to, like, we hope until September to get to product market fit, and then get going from there. And we're based in the Netherlands, but actually the app is now also it is possible to navigate it throughout Europe. And then we're going to go for more international expansion because also the model is pretty scalable in that sense because we don't own any stock. We just handle data. So we aggregate also multi-brand spaces and Yeah,
certainly. On the topic of, like the ex-CEO of Gucci investing in you, and you also mentioned fashion brands that are like pivoting earlier on. Do you see that a lot of the main fashion brands are pivoting, and are you happy to also have these on your platform, or are you like more focused on brands who are sustainable first, or have really been sustainable the whole time?
We have actually a separate section, and we're always going to be having a separate section that is really also empowering both users, because also as consumers, we actually do want to also shift a little bit our investment into actually other businesses. So we feel that is really, really important. But at the same time, we also want to, like, in the end, these companies also have the highest impact that they can make. And so also having worked there, I know that if the person who's running this project is not proving that consumers want to make this transformation, the business itself is not going to make it. It's not going to invest in it. So it goes both ways. So until now, we don't necessarily add a brand that it's a huge brand with special collections in it just for the sake of adding it, because indeed we want to give more space to smaller brands. But I do feel that at some point where our platform needs to also convince other consumers, because that's the impact also where we're going to make more people, more of us really making the shift. And if there are some brands that we're really attached to for any type of reasons, then there's always the best choice that we can make, even if you want to stick to that brand, because you can go for the responsible collection. What is really important that Renoon does is that it avoids that greenwashing. So sometimes, your favorite brand says that it has a sustainable collection, but as a consumer, maybe you don't know if that's true or not. And we can be that other third party that actually checks that for you, because it is true. Like, we have some of these big brands that are greenwashing because they say, I've made this recycled shoes and the recycled part is 20%, and that's not enough. So
it's not enough. And it's also saying like, oh yeah, we can just do like one sustainable line, but it's like, okay,
you can buy everything else from us.
Like, are you gonna brand the rest of your line unsustainable? Because that's technically what you should do.
Exactly. So
And what's something that is particularly exciting that you want to share with us today?
So we actually launched a community feature, because as you said, also, I think sustainability is also a lot. Sometimes it's also subjective in a way, like the thing that we say, I prefer to buy from a smaller brand. It's also a subjective feeling, because as a feeling, like, you feel like you want to support somebody else because you're very mad at maybe a big corporation. And so with the community, basically what we're doing is that we're doing some open profiles. So as a person who is passionate and advocating for sustainable fashion, we actually just launched it, and we're going to get more people to actually open it and showcase like what are the brands that they advocate for. And so in this way, we can actually truly have a community that also has a voice. And we are not the only one saying what a brand should be, and a brand that it's worthwhile, but it's also all of us, pushing towards this. So I'm really excited about it.
Sounds like a great feature.
Awesome. So I think we're getting to the end of this interview. And one question we always ask is how people can find Renoon and also find you. So this is your chance of sharing.
So Renoon, definitely, we're both on iOS and Android, so you can download the app and check it out, and then definitely send me a message on Instagram if you use it, or on our Slack channel. On Instagram I go by Iris Skrami, so my name and surname, and also on the Slack channel. So as you guys know, maybe other founders, we strive with feedback, so any feedback, especially the improvement points, are very, very crucial to us.
That's great. Thank you so much for that. And I will also put all of the links to the app and also to your own contacts underneath this video. And also, of course, if anyone wants to chat more with Iris and other female founders that are in this space tomorrow night, then you can join us at 7 for that networking event.
Perfect.
Great. Then thanks so much for joining us today. And thanks, Hannah, for hosting as well.
Thanks for having me, and hope to see some of you guys also tomorrow night.
Great.
Awesome.
And thanks for watching, and have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.